Alright guys, in the last video we set up React Redux Firebase and we set up our store. So since we did that, we now have in our state we have this Firebase object which has a bunch of stuff in it, and then we have this Firestore object which also has a bunch of stuff. This is where our data will be loaded. Alright, now we need to get the clients from Firestore into our client's component. So if we look at the documentation and we go down to where it says load data. So we're going to bring in a couple things. We need connect from React Redux. We need compose because we need to do a couple things down at the bottom here, and we need to use compose to do that. And then here they're bringing in Firebase Connect, but since we're using Firestore, we're going to bring in Firestore Connect, but it works the same way. Basically down here you want to add into your compose function that you export, we're going to do Firestore Connect and then put in the collection we want. In this case, they're using to-dos. We have a clients collection. And then we also want to put in connect, and basically we're going to take the clients from Firestore and put them into props, put them into properties into our component that we can access. And it's this easy to do. We don't have to do any extra actions or deal with a custom reducer or anything like that. All that stuff is done with React Redux Firebase. So let's go to our component. So we want to go, this is app.js. I'm going to close that up. We want to go to clients. So components, clients, and then clients.js. And then what we're going to do is bring in a few things. So let's go up top here and let's first, we'll say IMP tab. And let's bring in from Redux, we want to bring in compose. Okay, so we want compose. Next thing we want is connect. So we want to, I keep forgetting to do the IMP tab. So let's bring in from React Redux. So from React Redux, we want to bring in connect. And by the way, this compose should be in curly braces. Okay. And then we also want to bring in Firestore Connect. So that's going to actually come from React Redux Firebase. And it's going to be Firestore Connect, like that. All right, now that we've done that, let's go down to the bottom. And instead of just one other thing we need to bring in is prop types, because we do have some properties that we need to put in there. So for prop types, we can say IMPT tab, and that'll import prop types. Okay, and then we'll go down to the bottom here, and we're going to export default compose. And in here, we basically want two things. We want our Firestore Connect, and we want our regular Connect from React Redux. So let's first do Firestore Connect. And inside here, we want to pass in a set of brackets and then a set of curly braces, and we want to define the collection that we're looking to get the data from, which in our case is clients. Okay, so we want to get the clients, and then we're going to put a comma here and then run connect. Okay, and then inside connect, we're going to put an arrow function with state and props as a parameter, and then we're going to map that to a set of curly braces, and inside here we want to set a set of parentheses with a set of curly braces. I think I deleted one. There we go. So in here we want to get clients, and remember when we look at our state, we have Firestore. Okay, so where we want to get the clients from is going to be state.firestore.ordered.clients. Okay, clients is going to be put into this ordered. It's not here right now, but it will be. So that's how we want to access it. So we're going to say state.firestore.ordered.clients, like that. And it's going to get put into a client's prop. So we'll be able to access it with this.props.clients. Okay, and then of course we can't forget to, down at the bottom here, clients, the name of our component. All right, so again, it's going to get the clients from Firestore and it's going to put them into that state. It's going to put it into this state.firestore.order.clients, and then we're going to put that into the props. Okay, we're basically doing the map props to state here. So instead of using this just static clients right here that we created, let's set this const clients. Now it's going to be located in this.props.clients, right? But I want to use destructuring. So what I'm going to do is wrap this in curly braces, because then I can just say equals this.props, and that's basically pulling out clients from this.props. Okay, and then we want to add our prop types down at the bottom here. So we'll say the name of the component, clients dot, and then prop types, and set that to an object. And Firestore is actually a prop, so we'll say prop types dot, and it's an object, and is required. Oops, is required. And then clients is also a property, so we'll say prop types, prop types, and it's an array. Okay, and I'm not going to put is required here because it's going to look for it before it comes in, and we'll get an error. So we don't want to put is required for clients. All right, so I think we should be good. So let's try it. Let's cross our fingers and try it. So we'll save. No errors down here. Let's check the. Yep, there we go. Karen Smith and John Doe, so that we know that those are our clients. If we look at our Firebase and we go to our database, we have, drum roll, John Doe and Karen Smith. I don't know why this is going so slow here. Might be my connection. Karen Smith, yep. So you can see that it's now pulling it from Firebase, or actually from the Firestore. And if we look at the state diff, look down here in ordered, we have clients and we have the array inside there. If we look at our full state, we go into Firestore, ordered, clients, and there they are. Okay, so they're coming in from Firebase. All right, good. So what I want to do, if I reload this, you'll see that loading that we get, that heading. I want to actually use a spinner there. So I have inside the project files, which you'll have in the it should be in the first video of this project. You should have the complete files, and inside there, inside the components / layout folder, should be a spinner.gif or GIF, whatever you want to call it. So take that and then put that into your components folder. I'm going to do that right now. So if I go to, let's see, where did I put this? All right, so this is my project root. I'm going to go to source. I'm going to go to components, layout, and then I'm going to open up another finder and just grab my my spinner GIF. So let's see, where did I put this thing? Source, components. All right, so I'm going to grab it. I'm going to copy it and paste it in here. There we go. Spinner.gif. I call it a GIF. You can call it a GIF, whatever you want. And then we're going to create a spinner component. So let's go back to our code here and let's go into layout and let's create a new file called spinner.js. Okay, and this is going to be a pretty simple component. It's going to be a functional component, so we'll do RFC tab like that, and we want to import the spinner.gif file. I keep switching the way I say it. Spinner, and it's going to be from, and it's in the same folder, so /spinner.gif like that. Okay, so it should see it there. And then what I want to do is inside the return here, I want to render the image. So we'll say image, and then the source is going to be spinner. Okay, for the alt, we'll just say loading like that. All right, and then I just want to put some style. So we'll do just some inline styling. So we want to put 2 sets of curly braces here. And let's do a width of 200 pixels. And let's do margin auto so that it's in the middle. Margin auto. And then let's display it as a block. Okay, just like that. And we should be good. Let's save it. And now we have our spinner component. So now we want to go back to clients and we want to import the spinner. So let's say import spinner. And that's going to be from. We want to go, let's see, we're already in client, so we need to .. out of clients into layout, and then we want spinner. And then down here where we have loading, instead of returning an H1 with loading, we're going to return spinner. So let's save that, and let's go back to our application. Let's reload, and there we go. We get a little spinner as it's loading from Firebase. All right, cool. Now, there's one more thing that I want to do for this client's component. I want to show the total owed up here. So all the clients together, that balance needs to be shown up here. So let's go back to our client's component, and let's go, let's see. So we have our column D6 here with the heading, and then we have another column D6. So we want to make this, we want to give this an ending div here. And inside here is where we want to put our total. So we'll have an H5. Let's put an H5 here with the class of text. We'll say text dash right. And then I'm also going to give it a class of text dash secondary, which will make the text gray. And then inside here, let's say total owed. And I want a space here, so I'm just going to go like that. Just a cheap way to put a space in. And then let's put a span with the class of text primary. Okay, text primary is going to make it blue. I want the actual amount to be blue. And then in here, what I'll do is I'll say, well, this is going to be where the total owed is. So we need to get that. So we need to do a couple things. So what I'm going to do is add state. I'm going to add a piece of state to this component. So let's go up to the top here above the render, and let's put in some state, or state equals rather. We don't need a constructor or anything. We'll just say total owed, and we'll set that to null by default. Now we need to get the clients when they come in. Okay, so to do that, we're going to use the static get derived state from props method so that we can get the clients, and then we can basically loop through them and add all of the balances together and get a total. And we're going to use the reduce function to do that, the reduce method, which is a JavaScript high order array method. So right here, let's say static get, what is it? Get derived state from props. I much prefer the what is it? Component. I forget what it is. Component will receive props. That's what it is. I much rather deal with that, but that's getting deprecated. So this is what we're supposed to do now. That's what really stinks about frameworks and just coding in general is you get used to one way of doing things, and then all of a sudden it's not okay, and you have to do things a different way that you don't really like. It's just a side effect of programming, I guess. So this takes in prop state, and then we're going to get the clients out of the props, okay, the clients that come in from Firestore. So let's say equals this dot props. So now we have the clients, and let's make sure that there are clients. So make sure that they're actually here before we do anything. And the way that this works is we return state. Okay, if there's no clients, then I just want to return null. But if there are, then let's add the balances. Okay, so to do that, we're going to create a variable called total, and we're going to say total equals clients.reduce, and reduce is going to take in two things. It's going to take in a total, which is an accumulator, and then each client. Okay, then we're going to use an arrow here, and what we want to do is return, for each one we want to return the total, and we want to add on the balance. Okay, so each loop that it goes through, each client, it's going to take the balance and add on to the total. So I'm going to do client dot balance, but I don't want to just do that because that's a string. So what I'm going to do is run it through parse float. Okay, we're going to run this through parse float, and let's make sure that this is actually a string too. So we'll say to string, like that. All right, so we have the balance, and we're going to make sure it's a string, but then we're going to parse it as a float. And then we need a second parameter here where we start, which is going to be 0. Okay, so all it's doing is looping through and adding together the balances and putting it into this total variable. So now what we want to do is return our state, and we want to return total owed. So let's say total owed, which is our state value, which we defined up here, and we want to define it as total, okay, as whatever the total is that comes from this. Okay, and then down here in our render, let's pull that total owed out of the state. So we'll say const total owed, and we'll pull that out of this dot state, and then we can just put that right in here. And again, we want to make sure it's formatted as currency, so we're going to do a $, and then inside here we're going to parse float, and we're going to pass in total owed. And then let's do 2 decimal places, so we'll say 2 fixed and pass in 2. And let's save. Let's take a look. Okay, props cannot read property props of undefined. So let's see what's going on here. Okay, so what's going on here is in this method, this is a static method, we don't have access to this. Props, however, comes in through here, so we don't want to actually do this dot props. It comes in as just props. I'm going to make sure I didn't do that anywhere else. Okay, you don't want to use this dot props, this dot state, or anything like that inside this method. So let's save that, and that should work. And there we go, total owed 150. Cool. So if I were to go into Firebase, this is the only way I can change it right now. So let's change John Doe, let's change his balance to, let's say, 200 and update. And if we go back, there we go, 300. I didn't even have to reload the page. Awesome. So our client's component is it's officially done. We shouldn't have to do anything else to the actual client's component. So what we'll do next, what I want to work on next, is actually adding a client. So we want to do the page where we can have a form, and we can fill it out, and we can add a new client through Firebase, okay, or through Firestore. So we'll do that next.